Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 8th episode of Steins Gate. And last episode, we're starting to actually utilize time travel for some benefits. Or at least trying to, because Kyuu decided to try to get that lottery ticket number, but it just ended in failure, but it's not really the point. The point is the fact that Kyuu was able to successfully, deliberately, manipulate the past to change the future, or rather, diverge the timeline somewhere else, which Kyuu is able to be a part of that while maintaining his memories of the divergence itself. I'm throwing around a lot of words I don't really know the meaning of, so I just bear with me here. But I think that's kind of what's going on now. Yeah, and the fact that he does remember is the biggest thing, John Titor's like, yeah, we didn't really confirm there was anyone that could just, do that, so I guess you're the chosen one, so that's pretty cool. But Kyuu ended off looking a little bit worried, just kind of the weight of what's kind of been thrusted on his shoulders here. The power that he suddenly has, what should he do with it? What consequences will there be for using it, That's probably the kind of stuff that's currently weighing on his mind. So yeah, where do we go here now that we've got to a place where we can kind of reliably, consistently, big quotes around that, air quotes around that, do some time travel stuff? What will he do with it? So maybe we'll see in this episode. So let's get into it and check that out. 3, 2, 1, play. Kyuu, you to be the Messiah. Yeah, that's what they used. I like Chosen One better. Or the One. I mean, who better? Well, what I feel like you'll get that wish. It's been a lot's been happening. Man, that's a look. Okay. This is important. We can't worry about his feelings. Yeah, things are a bit screwy. D-mail's pretty impressive. But on him, though, because he's special. That's the question, isn't it? What if there will be a very specific reason why it's the case? I don't know what that could be. Okay. The magic guy. So, reading Steins Gate. First where the magic guy can enter Steins Gates. I don't know. It's still not quite sure what Steiner means. Or Steins, just in general. But I guess that's what he's calling the ability. Reading Steiner. Gonna drink some more water real quick. To the gate. There really is a lot of interesting visuals in this opening. And you could really probably dissect this opening and get a lot out of it if you were a smart person. Chaos theory, homostasis. Nailed it. Ruka. Still feeling bad? It's okay, everyone makes mistakes, just usually not Such big ones. That cost me a fortune. Okay, we're doing it. So, anything happen? Right, that's the usual. So what, did anything change? Yeah. So I guess not then. Well then. If we can't do it very reliably. Okay, yeah, that whole thing. So did anything happen with that? Oh, well then. Thank you, anyway. Well, I guess it wasn't that much of a success then. Maybe just couldn't be bothered to follow simple instructions. What'll be our next experiment, I wonder? I can see you blushing in the dark, that's very telling. Yeah, you know, reading Steiner, doesn't that make sense to you? It is something to worry about. But it's for science, which makes it okay. I mean, I definitely get that perspective, but if we could win the lottery, that would still be nice. There's no need to phrase it that way. Oh, is that a D-mail? From 5 days in the future? Maybe? Yeah, I bet a lot of people want to get Moeka the D. uh... Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I mean, sure, why not? She does that. She's a very intimidating person. Okay, so I guess they did a thing. Well, I wasn't invited, so... He scared people bigger than her. Probably some good life advice right there. Oh, that was, yeah, Hanakana's voice. Specifically Mayuri. Well, she's not afraid of her. I would gladly take one. Pretty cool looking candy. I like the color scheme. Hello, Suzuha. Could you go away now? It's none of your business. We need to stop talking to her about these things. Getting pretty close there, Suzuha. It's not why, I don't think. Well, the gang is getting here. There's a usual evil eye. Okay, yeah, now the gang's really all here. That's a question. Just her chest in the shot. Yeah, they'll defeat the purpose if it's private. So, how is she gonna handle the D, I wonder? Okay, I guess that's something. Yeah, I guess that works. A fan, that must be nice. I don't really trust her either, though. I mean, I trust her more than Suzuha. It's not exactly a high bar. Oh, is that a watermelon? Quite lovely. That's not gonna fit in the microwave, is it? Okay, okay. I guess that's nice. You don't have to leave. You don't get enough screen time. Feel free to stay. I trust you. I trust Ruka to keep secrets. Well, to get into it. I'm sure it would. Bye-bye. For real. Ruka really is not getting no screen time. Why can't Ruka be our next lab member instead of Suzuha? Because I know she's gonna be the next one. Here we go. Oh no, yeah, we're definitely timing. Stop whispering, you two. Which means we definitely shifted. So how much did it change? Because butterfly effect, you never know how much something might change. So it could be a lot. Somebody please say something so we can determine. Yeah, how much did we change? Is she not a lab member anymore? I guess phones are pretty important to her. So that could affect a lot with her. But I like that melon. Yeah, it's a bit more important. Yeah, we just completely cut her out. We just lost our lab member. That's horrible. Knew we shouldn't have let her handle the D. Can we race Suzuha next? Knew she was smart. We just destroyed Moeka with the D. I'm not gonna stop that now. Does she even know who we are? I mean, a lot's wrong. You didn't join our lab. But I guess she still knows him, so that's not too bad. Pretty much the gist of it, yeah, she just didn't join. That's the case. I mean, it clearly is. We just saw it at least twice. I mean, you didn't, so I guess you have to kind of take it on faith. Mayuri. She just says goodbye a lot this episode. I probably shouldn't read too much into that. So, how's this Messiah thing going so far? Excellent camera shot. How rude. Sounds like a plan. We can no one to stifle our Yuri field there. We can dial it up to maximum. That's how she answers the phone. What? Wait, what? August 5th. I should write that down later. Wait, what? Magical blade? Well, I guess it's decided. Yeah, let's just do that. You don't need to ask. If somebody's willing to help, you should accept it. Coyote, I would trust to do it. Even though one's a guy, yeah, it's kind of puts a damper on that. How can one person be such a man of culture? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Are you sure that's a guy? Don't appreciate you trying to make me a gay show. It's not okay. Definitely true. I mean... I mean, as far as psychological attacks go, it doesn't get much worse than that. I mean, a lot's wrong, really. So you want to try this on next, Kurisu? Please stop pulling it down like that. Some just very feminine legs, and Kurisu still thinks that's a girl, so... I mean, you quite clearly are. I'm getting just... I never had so much mixed feelings before. We need to stop this. I'm sorry about that. Is it about the lottery or... Oh. Okay, she wants to try it too. Ruka wants to try it. So... So Ruka heard all of this. Good question. Is it to not screw up the number? Oh. I have several questions about that. Could you change that with a mail for one thing? I mean, I know complaints from me if you wanna make that happen, but I mean, yeah, she still doesn't know. Yeah, that's a guy. It is hard to believe. I mean, I can hardly believe it. Yes, let's check this out for science real quick. I mean, you might be surprised. Yeah, it's gonna feel real quick. Of course, not where you want to feel if you want to confirm, but I guess it worked. Is that the direction we're going with this, really? That is such a stretch, but sure. Would it even... there's so much flaws in this plan, I don't even know where to... But I guess we'll do it. Man, if this works, this would be the biggest change by far. That's such a stupid thing. Yeah, I really have trouble believing that. Oh, I guess we just replaced Mohika with her. And soon to be heard. Yeah, 3 years after me. That's a good point. Maybe they didn't have a phone. That's a big flaw in our logic. Yeah, we can't possibly text somebody from 100 years ago or anything like that. Yeah, that's the big flaw in our plan. We can't send a D if they have no way to accept it. Yeah, can something besides the phone accept the D mail? I suppose somebody has to be. What if she doesn't have a pager either? But if it works, then I guess it's a better chance of success than the phone, which she wouldn't have. I never had one. I'm so sad that we replaced Mohica, but I guess I would prefer this. Okay. August 6th. Okay. Wait, this... Then, yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we're not gonna specify for a girl. This is such a convoluted whole plan. Oh no. Yes, I guess we have to edit it a bit. This is definitely the boldest thing we've done so far. I mean, I guess the lottery ticket sort of was, but that didn't work, so I'm not counting that. So how's it gonna work? Just suddenly, just the Ruka we know is changed forever? There's gotta be some other consequences of that, right? I don't know what they would be. So... Are we alone in this room now? Yeah, I mean, it definitely did something. It's... We're gonna have to check, though. That could be a bit awkward, because they're not gonna remember anything about the time shenanigans, so she might be confused why you're groping her, but we need to do it. You wouldn't understand. It's very scientific. I need to do something real quick. Just might have to apologize in advance and afterwards. You wouldn't understand. It's really hard to explain. But she does look a bit more feminine, but it's really hard to tell. There's only one way. Oh, we're just gonna end it off there. But okay. But I mean, clearly we saw the time change visuals, and I mean, it could be imagination, but Ruka does look more feminine over there. So I think it worked. He just has to make sure. Just gotta wait till Kurisu's not in the room to do so. It's the only real problem. But still, just that whole plan, I still can't get over that. I could probably write a short essay on all the leaps in logic and stretches for that whole thing. But I think the most important thing I got out of that was just the reminder that we're really limited at how much we can influence, because we can only go so far back in time, because cell phones didn't always exist. Like, they use a pager here, but even those have only existed for so long. So it definitely reaches a point where nothing will work anymore. So, you know, it's not as if we can go back and change super important historical events. Okay. Okay, that was the 8th episode of Steins Gate. Okay, so this episode, we are definitely continuing to experiment with our time travel and our time machine, D-mail, that whole thing. And Moeka wanted to try it out. I did initially misread the first message, because it was Moeka basically saying that she wanted to try the D-mail, but it's like, I want to try the D-mail too. And then Moeka, so I kind of took that as, you know, I want to send a D-mail to Moeka, you know, the other kind of two, not the as well kind of two, which it was, because I had to read these texts fairly quickly because they're on screen and they're not. So I was a little bit confused for a couple seconds there, but as the messages came, you know, as I got more messages, I realized my mistake pretty quickly. But that was my first, because I just assumed, you know, Daru sent it or whatever. But, you know, not really all that important. The point is she wanted to send a D-mail, and she did. I believe she told herself to, like, get a different phone or something like that. Actually, I'll go back to that part to make sure I got that right. Okay, so she said she changed her phone 4 days ago, and now she's telling herself to not do that. So basically, she would have a different phone at this point in time after doing that, which would be a pretty big change considering that's how she communicates with people. But it also seemed like she was still in communication with Kyoma, so I'm not quite sure. I had to really follow the steps to know exactly what would change from that, but it seems like what changed from that was she's not a member anymore, which is a little bit disappointing. We lost our member. Very sad. That was the first thing that we got in the episode that it worked, because we tried a whole card thing before with the game, but that fell flat. This actually worked, and suddenly Moeka was just, you know, gone. Nobody else really heard of her because they didn't really get acquainted with her until she joined the lab, and clearly she didn't join the lab. So, because she only joined the lab because she came over wanting to use the machine, right? So I guess for some reason she didn't want to do that anymore. I'm not quite sure. I'm still a little bit confused about that, but I won't worry about it too much right now. But Ruka was a big thing about the episode too. Now Ruka made a mistake before about the lottery ticket number and stuff like that, so I think that's why he came over to bring the watermelon, and he got a bit of an idea in his head once he overheard talk about the D-mail and stuff like that. He wanted to try it too. So, because he came over, the first thing he did was put on the cosplay that Mayuri wanted him to wear because she knew it would look good on him, and it certainly did. I think everyone would be in agreement on that. Mayuri, Kyoma, Daru, Kurisu, you know, Kurisu was certainly checking out Ruka quite a bit, while still under the assumption that there's a girl, by the way. So pretty much confirming Kurisu is definitely a Yuri character. I think we could say that without a shadow of a doubt. Even inviting Mayuri back to her hotel room, I think it's pretty clear. I can read between the lines. I know what this character's all about. So, you know, then we got this. Yeah, we got to see Ruka wearing that outfit, and just the way he pulled it down to try to cover as much of his bottom area as possible. That wasn't fair. It just wasn't fair at all. That's what really did it. That's what elevated that to a little bit too much. We need to stop before things get out of hand. So, but it was after that Ruka gave us the revelation of why he wanted to use the D-mail. And that was because he wanted to become a girl. Which, makes sense. He already looks like a girl, sounds like a girl. Might as well just become a girl if you have the means to. And apparently he does. Apparently you could just send a text message sort of thing to a pager of your parents, have them eat more vegetables, and then you're a girl. I don't even know what to say to that, honestly. There was so much ridiculousness in this whole thing. Like, there's so many problems. First of all, the premise that vegetables can make you into a girl is just ridiculous, no matter how you look at it. Maybe there's some scientific basis to that, but I don't think there is. I think they even comment on there's not in the episode. So that whole thing is ridiculous. But also just sending messages that far back in time, you had to rely on the person having a cell phone, which they don't, but they had a pager, which apparently works if we, do a few things. That works out apparently. So we just had to rely on a lot to actually be effective, a lot to work. Like, it was such a makeshift, like the whole plan was stuck together with glue and staples and stuff, whatever the phrase is. Like, it was just so hard to believe this would actually work, but it seems to have. Like, Kyoma gave up on it pretty quickly. I think the reason there was because the chest still looked pretty small, so we just assumed that it was still a guy. But that's not really true. There are plenty of flat girls, but I can see why that certainly wouldn't be encouraging for the plan, right? But he still hasn't checked yet. And I think that Ruka's a girl now, because we saw the time stuff, and there's no way anything else would possibly be changed by the parents, the mother, whatever, eating more vegetables. Nothing else would possibly change from that. I mean, it's beyond a stretch to have the gender thing work that way, but definitely nothing else would be affected by that. So the fact that we saw the time travel visuals around him makes it pretty clear that something happened, and that's the only thing that could have happened. So right now I'm going with the theory that it worked, that Ruka over there is in fact a girl. There is nothing there, and we gotta check. So, because I don't think Kyoma's gonna give him this completely. He's probably gonna check himself, and he's gonna have to do that when Kurisu's not around, because just looking at Ruka, you know, rubbed her the wrong way. So, you know, scientific investigation probably would bother her too. So, probably have to wait until later. I mean, Ruka still seems to be part of the lab, right? So apparently it didn't affect that. You know, didn't get removed from the lab as a member like Moeka did. So that's good. And yeah, hopefully, if it worked, then hopefully Ruka's happier now. I mean, he seemed to think that becoming a girl would give him more confidence and stuff like that, but which, you know, makes sense, because it would be a more fit, coherent package overall, like his existence. Best way I could think to phrase that. But yeah, we got so little of this new Ruka, it's really hard to say much for sure. So next episode, I'm looking forward to like get into that a bit more. I even commented on the lack of screen time Ruka's been getting in the show, but that might be because they were saving it for now, because now we have a good excuse, a good reason to have more Ruka screen time. You know, because I would love to just see half an episode of Kyoma just kind of following Ruka around, waiting for the right opportunity to, you know, to check. So, you know, I kind of hope that happens. I do kind of hope that happens. That would be certainly a thing. As far as that, I think that's really everything I have to say on the episode. You know, because we got a lot of the usual kind of stuff, which is not really much worth commenting on that. The whole idea of, you know, the limit of we got to have a target for our D-mail, otherwise it doesn't do us any good. So we can't like send messages to 1700s or anything like that. You know, we got that kind of hard limit in addition to the limit we already had of the character limit, which came up quite a bit as well. Really complicated, actually. You know, like calculating how much you can send, like really, really complicated. Yeah, the whole scene with Ruka cosplaying was probably the highlight of the episode. Just everyone's reactions to it. Kyoma whipping out his phone, talking about the psychological attack. It was great. You know, the way Kurisu looked at Ruka, still thinking that's a girl, and yet still captivated. That was quite nice as well. Although this pretty much means that Moeka's screen time is gonna just like tank, isn't it? Because she's no longer a member. So yeah, she probably won't show up very much at all. And Mayuri answers the phone with Tuturu. I mean, we might have already known that, but we definitely know that now. That's for sure. And just some good camera angle shots throughout the episode, like here and there. Yeah, I do think that's everything, honestly. We pretty much had, yeah, 2 instances of the time travel this episode. He called his thing the Magic Eye Reading Steiner. I think that's what he called it. Like, the Magic Eye is called Reading Steiner. I think that's how he phrased it. It's kind of hard to keep up with his Chuny names and stuff, but I think that's what he said. I know Kurisu wasn't a big fan of the name. Called it embarrassing, and I do kind of get that. For sure. We did get a couple instances of the time on the screen, which I don't think that's really important to the episode, but I'll write that down on my notes later anyway. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. I mean, Suzuha didn't really do anything this episode to make herself more suspicious, because I was on the look for it. But, I mean, she asked about the time travel, but that could just be written off as natural curiosity. I mean, it obviously isn't, but it could be. Like, she didn't say anything that actually piled on the list of reasons to be suspicious of her in this episode, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, she did the usual glaring at Kurisu and stuff like that. Just, other than the usual stuff, nothing new, really, from Suzuha, I would say. People are definitely aware of just the glare that she gives her, that's for sure. And it's also just a random thought, but I do feel like we see Mayuri say goodbye a lot. Just makes me nervous for some reason, I don't know why. But, because just a lot of shots in the opening of Mayuri and Kyoma kind of like facing opposite of each other, and there have been some just kind of odd scenes where, you know, where it seemed like he was kind of worried about Mayuri, so just all this is kind of coming together to make me progressively more worried about Mayuri, because, like, I think I said this before, but if the show wanted to do something to hurt me, they would go after Mayuri, so that's what I'm most worried about, because in this show full of, you know, You know, we got some scientists, we got some perverts, we got, you know, spies. Really, a character that's very much out of place, really, would be Mayuri. She's just this really happy, innocent bundle of joy, you know, always wants to get along with people and stuff like that. She's always felt out of place in this, like, science-focused lab. So, you know, why would they have her in the show? In other words, and if it wasn't, unless it was to hurt me, you know? So I'm definitely wary of that. So I've kind of just progressively been trying to mentally prepare myself for that, for when they do that. I don't think I'll be ready still, but I've been making an effort to. And in the same way, I've been preparing for the eventual Suzuha backstab. Those are the two things I'm most on guard for right now. And also Krisu's stabbing, I guess. That might happen at some point. Which, I mean, that's a thing that's already happened, though. It's just we might revisit it. So that's a little bit different. I can't put that quite in the same category as the other two things that I said I was worried about. But I really feel like I'm just kind of rambling a lot at this point. I think we're just going to end it off here. So, yeah, that's it. I did not expect that at all. That development of just sending a DML to make Ruka a girl. I mean, I thought if anything we might get a reveal that Ruka was actually a girl, because anime's done that a couple times to me. A character that legitimately, you know, we thought was a guy, but turned out it was a girl. There's at least a couple of shows like that. This is definitely a little bit different than that. But still had some similar reasoning about the whole lacking confidence thing. But anyway, yeah, I definitely am interested to see where that goes. So, yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.